generation of Fight Camp revolutionized the at-home boxing game by allowing you to track your punches and your output in real time and see your long-term progress. And after years of learning, research, and feedback, we went back to the drawing board to bring you, drumroll please, the new Fight Camp Experience console. With this upgraded experience, you can now access the next level of Fight Camp. Starting with partner workouts. No need for just one person, you can now have another person work out with you, and our console does hold up to 4 trackers. An updated round-by-round scoring and punch goals, plus celebrations of new achievements to keep you motivated. A new look and feel on your live screen. You also will have simplified streaming, an easy step-by-step setup for a seamless experience. The console itself is also a charging dock, so you never have to worry about losing your trackers or them dying. As soon as you're done, stick them on it and you're good to go. Connect directly through an Ethernet cable if needed. And it's optimized for multiple accounts. In summary, if you like the first generation of Fight Camp, then you are going to love the new Fight Camp experience. So if you want more information, make sure you go to joinfightcamp.com to upgrade your experience today. This is Fight Camp, an interactive training camp from the comfort of your own home. Tutorials and guided paths walk you step by step through the basics and sharpen your technique over time. Punch tracking technology and leaderboards provide you built-in motivation to help you hit your goals. Learn more at fightcamp.com.
The brain to perfect the body.
Guess we both ain't shit. She lying to me and I'm lying to her. Fuck it, guess we both ain't shit. Guess we both ain't shit. Fuck it, guess we both ain't shit. She lying to me, stop lying to me. That boy fucking hotter than me. Bitch, don't come crying to me. Fuck it.
Chill by my dolo, I'm riding it solo, but I need my brother, I could never lie. They don't test me, no, they gonna arrest me. If they ever catch me, keep it right by my side. And I've been getting hot for too long now. I've been itching to make me a song now. In the bathroom, in the classroom, I've been waiting to drop all these bars down. Down.
Shaolin shadowboxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
Shaolin shadowboxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
Shaolin shadowboxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
He fights the fight for us.
My number one constituents can't vote for me because they're students, they're in the classroom. So my fight is taking it to the State House and making sure all the dollars that we contribute to our tax base is coming back to the city of Brockton. When people talk about Brockton, they're not thinking negative, they're thinking positive. Once you invest into your youth, you're going to have a rich community.
Hi, my name is Karen. I'm a mother just like you, and my son rides a motorcycle. So please check twice, save a life. Motorcycles are everywhere.
For more information on sharing the road, visit mass.gov/RMV.
Do you feel lucky? Punk, I know you're wondering. Is this the booth, drafting the circuits, or Steve's video store? What is it? I sure know what it is. It's whobazoo.com.
The movie, music, news, television promos, trailers and videos used in this production are protected by the Fair Use Act. Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1. The purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. 2. The nature of the copyrighted work. 3. The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. 4. The effect of the use upon the potential market for, or value of, the copyrighted work.
Welcome. I have summoned you here for a purpose.
I got better things to do tonight than die.
Do I hear a second on that?
Blight. Our darkest hour.
We march forward to a new age.
the City of Champions, Brockton, Massachusetts, with your host, Keith Sinister One Hayes.
All right, it's your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth. It is August 11th, and why is the date not showing up here? Let's see here. The date's supposed to be showing up, and it's not showing up. I don't know why. Let's try to reset this and see what's going on here. Yeah, I'll have to fix that and see what's going on. There we go. Now it's there. 8/11/2026. Pretty crazy. pretty crazy. I see people in the chat already. Red Sox game against Toronto is just getting ready to start. Actually, 7:07. I see Renee White in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you like your shirts that you got from Amy Shaw. Drop those off. And as you guys can see, I've got my water here with me, drinking my water. It's been hot. I'm on vacation actually this week from work, getting a lot of yard work and stuff done, and it's been super hot. You got to keep yourself hydrated. You know, for big guys and stuff like that. For me, like over the years, I've had a bad habit of not drinking my water. Before I get into the show, I gotta let people know when you get to this heat and stuff, you gotta remember the signs and know the signs of when you don't drink enough water. The darkness of your urine. If your urine is looking like orange juice, you don't have enough water. You got to get enough water in you. If you're getting lightheaded, if you get up quick and then you feel like you're gonna pass out, dehydration. I've been in the hospital more than a few times for dehydration and have had to had that bag attached and stay overnight and all that stuff. It's a very bad habit of mine. So definitely keep your water with you. Make sure you're drinking a ton of water. And it's great stuff. Before I get into my supporters and sponsors, I got to thank last week's guest, Kenneth Diesenhof Robert Resnick of the Core that they came on for First Tuesday. A lot of people were in the chat asking questions. There was a lot of stuff these guys touched base on and talked about, and that's kind of the format that we're gonna do. I'll keep the legal stuff and the political stuff kind of light until they come on, and then that way everybody that has questions with these guys, because they're legal guys, I'd rather sit back and let the legal guys answer on a lot of this stuff. And there was a lot of stuff that came out last week. I got to give big up to Rob. Rob came out and let us know. Rob's been on this show for years. None of us ever really knew what Rob was disabled for as a veteran, and Rob actually is out because of tinnitus, which is crazy. So he really opened up. So you guys got to, if you missed last week's show, go to Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts. Hopefully you're subscribed and you can check it out. Also, I got to apologize again. I know I'm here. Y'all like, since the one is being lazy, thinks just because he's on vacation, he can show up all scruffy and scrapped up. But no, I'm busy. I'm super busy. I've got a DJ this weekend coming up at Mom's in Foxborough. And then I'm DJing the following weekend for the 3-on-3 basketball tournament back to school event, which has now been moved to the 23rd. I'm busy. So for me, I'm gonna see my guy Corey over at Eastside Cuts. Probably looking at Thursday or Friday to get all straightened up and cleaned up. Clancy's in the chat. He says, I think Troy Clarkson accepted that Plymouth administrator job. We'll find out tomorrow at 4. Yeah, I think he's taking it. he had a couple of jobs that he was trying to get out of here and get to, and they fell through. So he's going to take the first doors that open for him. So he's probably going to take it. He's probably going to take that job. And I'm surprised, Plymouth is bringing him in with all the stuff that went on. But it is what it is, Sometimes someone's headache is better with someone else, I guess you could say. So we've got to put this whole school budget thing behind us. We have to put it behind us. We're starting to get grants back in this city. We're really pushing to get this new high school done. I see a lot of people going back and forth. I'm actually trying to work. I ran into Jim Stapleton at the grand opening of Happy Belly 2 over there on Main Street. And I want to get a couple of people on this show. Kevin McCatskill, I want to get on, or one of the students in regards to the drones. If I had known that, I would have covered that all year if I knew this was going on. So shame on me. Brockton Enterprise actually got with one of the students, did a story on that person. So yeah, I gotta get with them and get them on here, and then I gotta get the gentleman on for the project. There's a couple of projects coming up. There's the Brockton High. I want to get the guy on for Brockton High, but then we've also got 2 major East Side projects. So I'm trying to work with getting Jeff on Ward Rep 5 to talk about the Trout Brook project, and there's a Salisbury River project. They're going to be starting work on the bridge over there. That's just before Lou's Custom Exhaust. That's finally starting. Center Street is getting a complete redo. They're already doing Center Street and over there by Supreme House Pizza. They're doing that, which is funny because CVS just spent all the money to get the curb and the drainage done, and then the city came out and dug all that up. So I'm hoping that we don't have to reimburse CVS for messing up the work they just did, because this goes back to the stuff that I was pissed about when I was running for Ward 5, the miscommunication where it cost this city money. Because I know CVS, even though the city's like, well, we're paying for this, and we're paying new this, new that, it was still money spent by CVS. So I'd like to know how that works out, because I there's nothing more worse than this is one of the things I hate. And it's not just, well, some of it's Brockton, some of it's not Brockton. It's like when they do street work and they paved the street, brand spanking new, paved the street down. Then next thing you know, 3 weeks later, guess who's out there? DPW to replace water lines. And I'm like, don't they talk to each other? Isn't there any type of communication? One of the things I don't like, and I'd like to get somebody on here to talk about, is I hate the fact that when they dig up the street for work, for potholes or water mains or whatever, for some reason in Brockton, they only patch what they dig up. And then that's what leads to all the crazy ass potholes we have in this city. When you go to other cities and towns, they take up that section and pave that section of road. So you don't have this patchwork quilt of pavement work. And being in transportation, I get it. Yo, when they make asphalt in abundance. They don't just say, oh, we're going to make enough asphalt for this little ass hole that we're digging and patching. No, when they make asphalt, there's a season for making asphalt. And when they make asphalt, they make so much asphalt that there's a lot of waste. So whenever somebody comes in and digs up the street, they can pave it. They can pave a bigger area. And I know that, the other problem we have in Brockton is that 28, section of 123, section of 27, 2 sections of 27s are state highways, 28 down by South Main, North Main is state highway, part of Montello, state highway. So when you get into those situations, you have state monies and state projects, but they still should be able to talk to each other. The other problem Brockton has that we have in this city, we have a lot of private ways. If you guys don't understand what a private way is like the going out the backside of Westgate. That's a private way. So in other words, the city doesn't pave that. The city doesn't care for that. That's owned by a private owner. Othello Road, the opposite end down there. Othello Road, right by the fairgrounds. That's a private road. For the longest time, that road was all dirt and stone, and then you get to the other side of that, and it's a city street, so it's paved, nice. So you've got that too with the private ways. So I'm getting off topic here. Let me give my sponsors and supporters: Michael Douglas Barreto, MDB Electronics. If you have a controller and you got to get it out and get it fixed, Xbox controller, get it out and get it fixed. There's a lot of games coming this week alone. I'm going to be talking about. There's a lot of stuff that's got me gaming on vacation this week. Viana Marie, her music is everywhere. 494,000 streams. Push them up. We want to get them over 500,000. It's Personal was her last project. Streaming everywhere. Viana Marie's music. Tactical target systems. If you see me at the range, those are the targets I use. And I know somebody's already going to jump in the chat and they're probably going to say, hey, Mr. Sinister One, you was at the range last week and you didn't have the zombie targets at the range. I know I didn't have the zombie targets at the range last week. I actually had Timu. I ain't lying, bro. I ain't lying. I got Timu targets because they were, you know when you go on Timu and you know how they get you to buy cheap stuff, but then before you cash out, they tell you, oh, you can save more money if you add such and such to your cart. That's how they got me. I was getting something that's going to have to do with the unboxing for the Neo Sabers, and it popped up and says, hey, you can get these splatter targets for $2.58 for $20. So I'm like, damn, okay. I'm like, you know what? For the $2, I'm just going to get the 20, and I can use those for the long-range shooting. So if you guys saw me at the range, I was at the range with the new toy, the FMPS 90, with the laser sighting and the Strike Industries kit on it. If anybody knows what the FMPS 90 is, if you're a gamer, you know what the FMPS 90 is if you're a gamer, especially in COD. If you're a fan of the movie and TV show Stargate, you know what the FMPS 90 is. If you are familiar with military and the Israeli army, you know what the FSPN 90 is. No recoil. It's my FMPS 90 is 5.728, and it's right up there with my Chris Vector 40 mil. It's no recoil to the point where I got to get, I do good with it, but I got to get better with it because there's no recoil. So, you know, everything about when you're shooting and at the range, it's all about anticipation and your breathing. And sometimes you prepare for the recoil. You prepare for the break. You prepare for all that stuff. But when you have a firearm that doesn't have any type of recoil that's going to either snap up or whatever, and you think it's going to do that, it's going to pull you down to either pull it down the right, pull it down. You're going to do whatever. And then you got to realize that, okay, I don't have any recoil with this PS. It's crazy. It is crazy. And the picture that I shared was 100 yards. So I wasn't mad at what I did with 100 yards with it, with the new kit on it. I'm pretty happy about it. So yeah, I spend time at the range, and you never know if there's so originally I was more worried about the zombie apocalypse, which is why I keep myself in training, because I don't want to be the black guy who dies in the first 5 minutes of the zombie apocalypse. I want to be somebody who kind of survives. I want to be that guy who kind of lasts. I want to be there probably. I want to be there longer than T-Dog. I want to be there longer than T-Dog. I don't want to have to sacrifice myself to save Carol. I'm just saying, that's a Walking Dead reference if you all know. And just again, I'm just going to let y'all know again on this show, once again, 100%, I'm just letting y'all know. If we do have a zombie apocalypse, and if if the zombies are Dawn of the Dead zombies or Train to Busan zombies, just once again, I love all the love you guys give me. I love all the love you guys show support. But hey, don't say, hey, we should go get that Sinister One guy that does the podcast. We should go save him and add him to our squad. Don't waste your time. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. If the zombies are Train to Busan zombies or Dawn of the Dead remake zombies, don't bother coming looking for me. Yo, do something else. Don't come looking for me if you see anything like that. Don't do it. Don't
Do something else! Do something else! That's it! That's all we want! Do something else! Holy
Yeah, because I don't want my followers, I don't want my supporters and fans getting eaten by zombies because they're gonna come look for me, and I'm already gone. I'm going out like Steel. I'm going out like Steel in Day of the Dead, George Romero, early movie. Remember Steel when he got bit by Bub, and then Steel pulled out his gun and shot as many zombies as he could. He had one bullet left, and he did the symbol crucifix thing, blessed himself, and then put the gun in his mouth and shot himself. That's me. If it's fast zombies, Train to Busan, Dawn of the Dead zombies, don't come looking for me. Don't come looking for me, bro. Don't. Rest in peace, Steve Ronquillo. He would be laughing right now. Steve passed away this week. Steve is the guy who had the show Steve's Video Store that I produced. He was one of the first podcasts that I had started producing back in 2015. That's how I've been doing this for a long time. And Steve was a good dude. He passed away, lost his battle with kidney and liver failure. He'd been battling that for a long time. I remember him pushing through shows and doing shows. So big ups to Steve. Carl K for all your friends and family, Lewis Adams, Vicky, Janie, all y'all peeps, man. You're in my thoughts and prayers. Rest in peace, Steve, man. So that one was for you. Also, like I said, I don't think the zombie apocalypse is happening right now. I'm now more worried about the robots, the John Connor thing. I feel like we're probably gonna have the war against the machines before we have the zombie apocalypse right now. I'm seeing the stuff that they're doing right now with robots, AI. China is super way ahead of us. I showed a video 2 weeks ago where they're already having robot battles in rings and cages, and people are controlling those robots. We're here with drones and stuff doing that. We're way behind here. We've got dogs and we've got little, robots jumping over podiums and stuff, but China is way ahead of us. And I'm just telling you right now, if you are on a draft website and you have to place a bet on what's going to come first, the zombie apocalypse or the war against the machines, I'm going to say war against the machines is probably the better bet. The war against the machines is the better bet. So get ready. Either way, I go to the range and I'm getting myself ready. Simple as that. And if we're looking at the war against machines, we need smart people who know things about computers and things of that sort. So get your AI classes in. China's the first country right now to take an AI server and put the AI server in the bottom of the ocean, one of the coldest places there is, and it cools the AI. And, it's not like being in these frozen areas where you have to take it to the deepest, dankest, coldest areas like Facebook and all of them doing. China's already way ahead. So if the war against the machines let's start mapping out where all these AI servers are in the oceans, because that's going to be our targets, people, to turn the tide of the machine war. I'm just letting you all know this. Write this shit down. I'm giving you all some knowledge right now. Write this shit down. Don't sit here be laughing and putting laugh emojis in the chat. I'm giving you all some knowledge. I see you all out here. these are places we need to go. I'm just saying. Also, I love Boston sports. Black-owned business, Marlon Williams down there at South Shore Plaza. Make sure to hit him up for some awesome sports t-shirts. Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. Ladies, if you want to take some photos that you never thought you would take, reach out to Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what shape you are. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter what race you are. She will make you feel comfortable. And if you want to boost your self-esteem, head on down. Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. Also, Black-owned business, Underwatch Protective Services. Daryl Smith, CEO. Thank you, Daryl, for providing the coverage for the slingshots for Shriners. If you guys need any stuff from him, reach out to him for any of your security needs. In the news booth, let me get this up here in the big one here. In the news booth here on the east side, Jeffrey Thompson, he thanked the Brockton's Inspectional Services Department for an outstanding work they completed at Snow Park. Every so often, the Brockton Inspectional Services goes out and they remove stuff. And I get it. There's a few people out here who do these community cleanups. Mike Smith was doing them. Alexander Hoxie was doing them. And hey, it's great. I'm all for civilians going out and doing their part, but the thing is when you go out and you're going to clean these homeless encampments, hey, it's a huge risk. There's a huge risk involved, because death can happen at any time. Because this right here, when you look at the numbers of what they cleaned up and picked up, they had over 400 bags of trash, 10 mattresses. As you guys know, mattresses are now considered hazardous waste. This is why you have to call and have your mattress and box spring picked up, not just because of bed bugs and things of that sort, but there's bodily fluids and things of that sort. So mattresses are considered hazardous waste, which is why you've got to call, which is why you now have to go down to Dollar Tree and get a bag to put your mattress in to get rid of it. 12 shopping carts. I don't know how they got the shopping cart. The shopping cart wheels are supposed to lock up as soon as you leave the property, so I don't get it. 10 baby strollers. And this is the scary one. 4,500 needles. 4,500 needles. And that's why I said I applaud the actions of these community leaders who go out there. Like I said, Mike Smith, Alexander Hoxie, who go out there, but there's a huge risk out there for you guys. And I get it. You wear gloves, bags and this stuff, but the thing is that you guys are not trained like these guys are, who go out here and know what they're doing. And like I said, this the last thing you need as a father of kids is to be out there doing your part in the community, but then get pricked by a needle that you didn't see under leaves or something, and you get hepatitis or something worse. So that's the danger you have to beware of. And I'd love to get Jeffrey on the show to talk about this, because even he would probably say the same thing. He applauds, he loves the fact that we do have community people who step up and do it, but there are risks involved. And here's the funny thing I'm surprised about it. I'm surprised the Brockton DP, I'm surprised because they're union. The DPW, those are all union. I'm surprised the union hasn't made a stink to protect the community from themselves and have said, hey, that's our work. Because I know here in Brockton several years ago, there was some work that was supposed to be done in a park. And the union made a big stink for this work that was going to be done in the park. So I don't know why they're not making the same stink. So I'd like to ask that question too, if anybody remembers that. Also in the Brockton news, hey, there was a huge crash last night. I had to go out to Worcester, came home last night, got off at 123, and quickly had to turn around and zip down 24 and get off at 27 Westgate. I couldn't tell. It looked like a possible fatality, the way that it was roped off, the way that it was, no one was being allowed down there. Still haven't heard, but we do now know that there was a state police trooper involved in a crash in Brockton with another vehicle. The other vehicle was off the road and in the grass. So I don't know what was going on there. But the crazy thing is that one, this was the third state police accident of the weekend. The third. There were 3 mass state police accidents this weekend throughout the state, and this Brockton one was one of them. And, you know, I hear a lot of people complaining and stuff about the accidents here in Brockton, but when you look at some of these accidents, a lot of these accidents in Brockton have been mass state police vehicles. You had mass state police that had hit Moses Rodriguez. There's just been so many. This drunk driver that killed the mass state police. A lot of cruises out there getting damaged in 2026. Crazy stuff. Also in the news booth, I see a lot of people sharing this story. And I've been following it. I actually posted about this story before mainstream media even got on the story. Because for me, there wasn't a lot of people covering the story, tracking the story, asking the questions, answering the questions. If you guys see this picture is Tasia Fortune. Tasia Fortune is 29 years old, and of course, they're using a picture of her when she was younger. And I hate when they do this because there is a reason why they're using a lot of the pictures from when she was younger. Tasia Fortune was found hung from a tree behind an abandoned home. And everybody, as you see here in this top story, they put black woman, black woman, black woman. And I'm just saying it's a woman because there's been lots of times we attach race to this and then you realize that it isn't what it seems, as we've seen over the years. There have been some horrific stories, but I see a lot of people sharing this stuff. I actually saw JBD share this story, and he put a post out, and I put something on there and kind of corrected him from allowing it to go the way it was going, the conversation. But for those who don't know, and I'm just going to give you an update on this Tasia Fortune story. Tasia Fortune, yes, was found 29 years old, hanging from a tree behind an abandoned home, age 29. The issue here is that oh, you can just put it right there. Thanks. The issue here with Tasia is, and I see a lot of people trying to make this out race, that they're attaching, lynching. We don't know. So we gotta stop with that. We gotta stop with that right out the gate. Let's wait for the coroner's report to come back, number one. The other issue is sometimes you can't trust those coroner reports down south because it's different. Coroners down south are different than coroners up here. Ken explained it a while ago. But here there are a lot of other things now that have come out that are leading me to believe that this could have been possibly a suicide. First of all, they do have the Jackson police do have a person of interest in custody. The person of interest in custody is Terrence Anderson, 65 years old. He is a convicted felon who violated, he had a weapon in his possession when he was brought in for questioning. So he has now been labeled as a person of interest. What's even more interesting, that Terrence Anderson, age 65, is one of the baby daddies of this girl. He is the father of one of her kids. She has a 5-year-old son with Terrence, whom Terrence had custody of because Tasia is a non-custodial mom of 4 kids. Non-custodial mom of 4 kids. The reason why Tasia does not have custody of her kids is because she has drug issues, mental health issues, and she had been homeless. The abandoned home that Tasia's body was found hanging in the backyard, this home was an abandoned home that she was actually squatting in. So we now know this. Tasia was actually squatting in this vacant home that she was in. Now, even more shocking, they've interviewed Tasia's mother. And when you listen and you watch Tasia's mother's interview, there's a lot more to Tasia's story than meets the eye. And one of the reasons why I'm not throwing this whole lynching and race stuff up on this story, because the mother said that Tasia was seen at the family reunion cookout, which took place on July 26th, and they asked her, was there anything different? And it said she felt she was finally at peace. She felt that she was in a good place. So what does that tell you about Tasia? When you hear her mother say, I just seen her after a long time on July 26th, and she seemed like she was in a good place. She seemed she was at peace. When you look into the history between her and Terrence, multiple police calls for assault, battery, things of that sort. This is just one father of the kids. One father of the kids. She had a recent incident just a month ago involving Terrence, age 65. We don't even know the other fathers and the other situations and the other kids and why she doesn't. We don't know any of this. It's all gonna come out. The autopsy is being done. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. The issue here for me is that I in my opinion right now, before this autopsy report comes back, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be once again the scourge of our communities. The scourge of our communities right now is mental health. Mental health sees no color. It sees no race. Mental health issues are non-prejudicial. It doesn't have any prejudice. We see it in every aspect of life, in every group of people out there. Mental health is something that we cut funding for during the Bush era and Reagan eras. And we've continued to keep those numbers down for supplying monies. Even during Obama, he didn't put any more money towards mental health either. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I'll tell you right now, being on social media, you see it firsthand. There's people that you know that you probably have known all your life, and then you realize, wow, that person, I think, has mental health issues. So if you're out here and you're following this story of Tasia Fortune, just let people know. Don't try to make this a race thing, because right now, from the facts that I've seen and the facts that I've done my homework on, it's not looking like a lynching, race-motivated lynching, murder. It's not looking like it. This girl was in a bad place for a long time, and it stinks. And hopefully this father of the 5-year-old son, hopefully he is cleared and has nothing to do with this murder or whatever it is. Hopefully he, so he can be there to raise his son. It sounds like this guy, if he's cleared and is no longer a person of interest, he's going to have a 5-year-old son that he's going to have to take care of that doesn't have his mother no more. So again, if you haven't heard, a person of interest has been taken in the Mississippi woman, Tasia Foreman, who was found hung. And then the updated story is that the house that she was found hanging in the yard is an abandoned house that she was squatting in. That's a big piece of this pie right there. Big piece. It wasn't just some random place. This was a place that she was squatting and staying in while being homeless. So prayers go out to her family. Hopefully the autopsy shows us something that we can kind of figure out and wrap our heads around. Let's get into the entertainment booth. In the entertainment booth, as you guys know, Godzilla is coming out November 6th. Godzilla -0. And there's a story coming up about that. But to celebrate the new Godzilla movie, McDonald's is getting together with Godzilla, Hello Kitty and friends, and they are releasing Happy Meal themed toys based on the Kaiju's Godzilla. As you guys see, there's Godzilla there, there's Ghidra there, there's Rodan. Look, when these Happy Meals come out, and if they're super limited, and if you're standing up there, I'm fighting your kid. I'm just letting you know, I'm fighting your kid. If I got to get one of these and there's not many around, I'm fighting your kid. Put it on TikTok, make a reel out of it. As Kevin Hart would say, I'm gonna put the paws on you. Right there in McDonald's. Also, DoorDash has been approved. Add DoorDash to Amazon, add DoorDash to FedEx, add DoorDash to Papagenos, add DoorDash to Domino's, add DoorDash to UPS. They have been approved for FAA certified drone deliveries. What does that mean? That means that DoorDash can now don't have to have people delivering their food. The food will take off right from the restaurant and will fly right there to your house and get delivered. And they're saying the times will be faster, no traffic, no irresponsible drivers. Because I know sometimes I hate that GPS and you're watching the driver and it's almost like I ordered something from DoorDash one time during WrestleMania, and it was almost like the dude. It was coming up on the main event on WrestleMania. It was almost like the dude went to his house with my food, sat and watched the main event of WrestleMania. Then when the main event was over, this dude then left his house and dropped my food off, and it was cold. Now I wanted to say, bro, did you just watch the match that I just watched? Cause I hate that's one of the things I hate about the DoorDash GPS, all these delivery GPSs, because you can see it, and then they'll still try to lie. When you ask them and they still try to lie, it's like, bro, you was at such and such for 35 minutes, bro. Craziness. For all you guys out there, let's see what else we got here. Also in Brockton entertainment booth, hey, Daniel Mello, Kyle Daniel Mello, also known as rapper 11K, here in Brockton, he is opening up for Kyle Richh. Kyle Richh has done songs with A Boogie with the Hoodie. He was featured on Megan Thee Stallion's track on her album in 2024. Kyle is opening up, 11K is opening up for Kyle Richh on, let me see. It's August 21st. Yeah, August 21st. Oh, it's right there in the picture. August 21st. At Big Night Live. That's a big deal. Local artists aren't doing Big Night Live with people like this. So this is a big look for him. So big ups to him. 11K, good stuff. If you guys know him, give him a shout. Show him some support. Live in Boston, Big Night Live, August 21st, 8 p.m. Also, getting back to Godzilla. Godzilla Minus Zero officially is getting the biggest global release in Godzilla history. 79 countries confirmed for the release of Godzilla Minus Zero. Do not bother me on November 7th because that is when Godzilla opens, and I'm already mad because I wanted to go to Japan for the opening before I die and see Godzilla opening in Japan. That's what I want to do before I die. That's on my bucket list. So please, I need that. But yeah, it's opening in 79 countries. The box office. So when Godzilla Minus One opened, it was limited engagement. It was limited time. I think it was like only 2 weeks. It was a limited run. So it was limited screens, limited run, and Godzilla still killed it. Minus One still killed it. Minus Zero opening in 79 countries. I'm going to put a bet that this Godzilla will be the biggest opening, the biggest gross that a Godzilla movie has ever made, hands down. All Godzillas from this, because this is Toho. Toho Godzilla is the Minus Zero, and then you have the legendary Godzilla, which is the American Godzilla, Toho. But I'm pretty sure Minus Zero is about to get the biggest of all time. It's about to break a ton of records. That's November 6th. So again, don't look for me. Also, as I was talking about, Tom Clancy and Ubisoft games are celebrating their 25th anniversary. 25th anniversary. And the DLC that was just dropped this week is ridiculous. This is the Ghost Recon Wildlands DLC that dropped, and they're bringing back the Predator. Here we go.
Your target goes by the name of La Llorona. It's a moniker taken from a folktale about a woman who drowns her own children.
Sweet.
Those fanatics are her vapor trail. Get to them, and they will lead you to her.
On it.
You, Vargas, are lost and immune to the divine.
I need you there. Roger.
Let me be clear. This op is the blackest of blacks.
Taking a shot.
Drag out.
The jungle. It came alive.
So I'll be on that probably after the booth. If we don't do turnbuckles and spilled liquor, I'll probably be on that. But also, we have this. Tom Clancy also dropped DLC for the Division 2 Broken Rain Incursion trailer. I'm going to just show you that right now. Here we go. And then not only that, we get the Call of Duty trailer drops for the first look at the campaign. This one's called Traffic. Let me show you this one.
Don't forget our deal. We don't get to Paris, you don't get your Archer.
We're engaging police.
No, but they bleed just the same. You should know better than to doubt me, Capitan.
There is too much heat on us. We're exposed out here.
So are they.
And then, as you saw, before I went live, you saw the trailer for Transformers, the 40th anniversary of the movie that came out in 1985. That's being re-released, all redone with an added chapter, September 17th. Don't bother me. I will be there for that. And then in October, Sony may finally get my money. Sony has announced that they will have a limited edition Marvel Wolverine bundle and controller. Got to order it early if you want it in October. But this is the Wolverine PlayStation with the Wolverine controller with the Wolverine game for PlayStation 5. Sony may finally have my money. They may just very well have my money. In the sports booth, Jaylen Brown is throwing a block party event, the 741 frequency event, to take place at the Boston Commons. That event is going to be August 30th from 2 to 7 at the Boston Commons. Again, the 741 Frequency Fest, as he gets ready to head off to Philadelphia 76ers. But again, August 30th, if you want to head down, Boston Commons. Thank you, Boston. The big send-off, 741 Frequency Fest. And then last Thursday night was the Hall of Fame game to kick off the 2026 NFL season. And then this week kicks off week 1 of preseason with games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's week 1 of preseason. I'm not going to be going ham like I do during the season, so don't worry. I'm not going to be blowing your phones up during these games. But the Patriots will be taking on the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday night. Big ups to Adam Vinatieri, who went into the Hall of Fame this year. A lot of players from a good year of football in this era. Let me see what else is here that looks like a good. It's week 1 preseason. It's really not that big of a deal. Week 1 guys will get a lot of time. It's not like when you have 4 weeks. When you have 4 weeks, that week 1 of preseason, you really didn't get to see many because you got to get everybody on there. But week 1 now has become that week where you kind of see a lot of people. And then week 3 will be the big week. I know Kevin Jeffries, Titans, they're taking on San Fran. My boys, Tyreek, he's an Eagles fan. He's got the Baltimore Ravens in preseason. Terrell, my other son, his team's the Chargers. They got the Texans. And then, as you guys know, that R Squared is a Giants guy. And where are the Giants? The Giants are taking on the Vikings in week 1. That's Saturday. So all of these games take place this weekend. They do have primetime games this year on preseason. So that Titans game is the 9 o'clock primetime game. All 3 games on Friday are at 7. And then the primetime game on Saturday is Dallas and Seattle. So we'll go from there. Like I said, it's just week 1. Week 1 preseason. I'm not too big on that. We are at 7:47. Let's get into the legal booth. In the legal booth, court orders Meta to pay $567 million to the state of New Mexico to address kids' mental health and safety. If you guys haven't been paying attention or watching, there is this huge class action lawsuit that's up there, like the opiate lawsuit, blaming. And I could do to be honest, I could do a whole show on this. I'm gonna have people mad at me, but it is what it is. I find it absolutely insane that Meta is taking these losses in court in regards to children's mental health and safety. I find it absolutely insane. I find it absolutely crazy that we are talking about this. You are letting bad parenting off the hook and suing these social media companies for what bad parents should have been policing. And I'm going to say this. My son Terrell he was young when social media just first started. He wanted a Facebook, and I said, dude, you can't have a Facebook until you're 13. Legally, you can't have a Facebook social media until you're 13. So when he turned 13, he got a cell phone. We had the party at the Charlie Horse, and right there at his birthday party, we created his Facebook page that we could both oversee and monitor. When my kids were gaming, you could have them as kids on the account, but you could monitor. You could also set the levels, the age levels and stuff. Like when do we hold parents responsible for their actions? I did some of the stuff that I was supposed to do. I've seen people on Facebook complaining about stuff that, to me, is bad parenting. When I see a parent on Facebook complaining about their toddler making a ton of purchases, and I'm like, did you not have your restrictions set so you get notified? Did you not? No, I didn't. Okay, that's kind of your fault, because they do have all of these protections and things in place that people can use so these things don't happen. Your kids don't access this. And I get it. Some people are going to say, well, Sister One, some kids can get around that stuff because their parents aren't tech savvy. But if you're going to look, that whole my kids are more tech savvy than me, and I'm probably going to piss a few people off when I say this, that whole my kids are more tech savvy, I'm sorry. I don't like that. I find that a cop-out. I find that whole my kids are more tech savvy than me, I find that the same as taking the bedroom door off because you don't want your kid to slam the door no more. That's, to me, it's the same thing. Like, when I was growing up, I never was threatened with having my bedroom door taken off. Never. I was never threatened with that. You know why? Because it never got to that fucking point. I'm just being real. It never got to the point to where my dad got so mad that he threatened that he was going to take the door off my bedroom. So parenting is a job. It's a task. And the fact that Meta is paying $567 million to address kids' mental health and safety when parents have the controls in place, and you see it on TikTok and all these social media, people making videos with their kids that are just, some people, I've seen people making video with their kids that are just super sexual and cringy as fucking hell. I'm just being real. We got a whole, it's crazy. So the fact that Meta, and this is a big one because this is going state by state. So now they're paying $567 million to New Mexico. It's a lot of money. And you still got, I want to say Meta so far is settled or has been handed down this ruling, I want to say in 4 states. And like I said, I get it, but when you create accounts for on social media, the thing, it says you have to be 13 or older. Xbox wouldn't even let you create an account for your kid if your kid's age didn't match up. If it didn't match up, and then people complained, and what they did was they put in these things in place where you could create the content that they could see and what they couldn't see, and I was an a-hole for that type of stuff. I remember my youngest son, when I was a beta tester. I was actually a beta tester for Xbox Live. I have the kit and everything still here. I beta tested Xbox Live before it hit the public. Xbox Live actually came was built off of the Sega Genesis Dreamcast online gaming setup. That's where they took that from and built on it. And I was one of the first people to have online gaming on the console because I was a beta tester. And my boys, my youngest was on, they had the live chat. That was a big deal back then. Was the live chat was huge during games. My boys are best friends with someone that they met online. Best friends. They've gone out of state to meet people. But yeah, I remember my son Terrell's account getting shut down for language. And what I used to do was I would Google and search my boys' gamertag names, and that would bring up all of their activity if they were doing something. And Terrell at that time, he had been on somebody's stream. Somebody was streaming on YouTube. They were sharing the videos to YouTube, and they were trash talking. And it was funny because Terrell was roasting the kid. It was funny because my son Terrell, he was roasting the kid. But he got banned. He shouldn't have been doing it, and he got banned. And like I said, I was monitoring, and the Xbox did exactly what I had set it up to do. It monitored him, it caught him, and then it shut his shit down for a certain amount of time. But I was you ever been a mad dad but a proud dad at the same time? That's kind of how I was, because I was mad, but at the same time I was like, bro, he roasted this kid. It was Halo too. I think it was like Halo Reach or something that he was playing with this kid on Halo. Yeah, it was funny stuff. Also in there was only one thing in legal. There's not much in the Trump troubles. In the Trump troubles, China announces sanctions against the U.S. amid rising tensions. For those who don't know, got about 4 minutes left. I see Clancy, Renee, all you guys still in the chat. China's getting pissed at some of these sanctions and things that he's put into place, but the biggest one of all is the one that I got tied up in. The DJI drone fiasco. And for those who don't know, and I'm going to close out the show with this one, DJI was the best drone company in the United States. The best. Came from China. This country had a chance when DJI came into this country and was first, drones were introduced. There were a lot of American companies that could have jumped on board and competed against DJI, and they didn't. Because a lot of the American companies were ignorant, and they felt that drones weren't going to take off in this country as a hobby, and this and that. So no one ever really challenged DJI. DJI got pretty much a monopoly foothold in this country when it came to drones. They were the best, hands down. And Trump comes in this second term, comes around, and he creates this whole false narrative about DJI, and then draws up paperwork to have DJI banned, and claims fear and telling people that they're taking people's info and this and that and this and that. And it was just a lot of lies and mistruths and unreal things being said about DJI, which had been one of the best companies in customer service and everything. What happens is he bans DJI drones in this country. Then he turns around and allows his two sons to back an upstart drone business that's an upstart. First of all, upstart, and hands them a defense contract. First of all, upstart companies aren't supposed to get or even be eligible for government contracts. Look it up. They didn't even have drones. They got the contract, and then they went over to the Ukraine and made a deal with a company that's already making drones in the Ukraine. So much for America first, right? You get his sons get this nice government drone contract, and then the first thing they do is they go overseas and they're going to get the drones from the Ukraine, not here. They're going to buy the drones from Ukraine and sell them under a brand here and make all this money. That's grifting. That's bad. That's wrong. And at the same time, you hurt people like me who gets roughed up. Well, I didn't get roughed up. I ain't going to say. They treated me nicely. The FBI in Boston, I got hemmed up. That's the best word to say. I got hemmed up by the FBI and the Boston police because my DJI drone software didn't have the up-to-date TFR, which is the total restricted flight zone. If DJI was still at that top of the echelon, I would have been getting my real-time FAA updates. Now they just had a recent update come through their software, and I think they're back to getting the TFRs in real time. I think that's what I just saw, but I'm actually putting in for my 107, so I'll be getting that. But we'll see. We're at 8 o'clock. I want to thank you guys for tuning in the show and get ready to get out of here. But here are the outro banners because I got a lot of events to talk about. These are the banners that in the hats that are all gone. Those are the people that have gotten those hats and supported the show. These are shows I produce. Drafting the Circuits is tomorrow night. Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor. I got to get with Kevin and see if we're doing a show tonight. Maddie C Sports. Oscar Mike Radio on Thursday nights. Bat Bus Ride for free until I think the end of the August. Slingshots to the Summit. It rained, so that event's been moved to the 22nd and 23rd. This Thursday is the Castle Island bike meet at Sullivan's. This Saturday, Middle East Downstairs, Cambridge. Don't mind me, I'm eating. I'm sorry about that. Terminology, Paul Wall, and Sling. Your boy, Sinister One, I'll be DJing at Mom's in Foxborough. I'll be DJing the Showcase and Ride Out event. August 18th is the Brockton Fire Department Informational Recruitment Meeting at the Brockton Public West Library. Back to School Fair takes place August 20th, 12 to 4, 250 Thatcher Street in Brockton. And the big debate is coming up between Tony Rodriguez and Michelle Dubois. That's going to be August 20th, 6 to 7 at the BCA Studios. And as I mentioned before, Brockton's own 11K will be opening for Kyle Richh August 21st. Play Boston at Big Night Live. And then the Brockton High School Freshman New Student Orientation takes place August 19th, 20th, and 21st. Broken Chains Biker Show, that's been canceled. That was to take place on August 22nd. And then there's been a change here. August 23rd, I'll be DJing the 3v3 basketball tournament, back to school event. And then the Rock Church is hosting their back to school celebration backpack giveaway. That's August 23rd, 3 to 5. And there's the updated flyer for Slingshots to the Summit, August 23rd to the 22nd to the 23rd. Savannah Strong, that takes place August 27th to the 29th in Danville, Indianapolis. And then, as I mentioned during the show, the 741 Frequency Fest, Jaylen Brown's Thank You Boston event. That's August 30th, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then also make sure to help out if you want to support Michelle Dubois. The next events coming up are August 15th and 16th, the 21st and 22nd, so the next 3 weekends. Manning Pool, still open, 7 days per week, $4 entry, $1 for seniors. Downtown Brockton Arts and Music Festival, that takes place September 12th, 1 to 7 p.m. And then the Boston Pizza Festival is September 19th to the 20th. That's at Boston City Hall Plaza from 11 to 6. Go down there, get yourself, save some room. There's a lot of slices that you can eat. Holbrook Sportsman's Club is having a junior archery instruction program from ages 12 to 20, first Sunday of every month. Brockton Arts Paint Nights. Join us every last Saturday of the month, 7 to 9 at the Enzo Flats. $20 per person. Take home your masterpiece. And I think that's going to be it. Is that it? And yep, that's going to be it. That's about it, everybody. I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show. It's been a great time. Renee, Clancy, everybody in the chat holding it down. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. I got to see if we're doing turnbuckles and spilt liquor tonight. Other than that, hey, SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home, because if we're not doing turnbuckles and spilt liquor, I'm probably getting on Wildlands. Probably. SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home.
See you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I make it, bitch, don't repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, but y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com. Enter website, enter website, enter website, enter website.